Welcome. My name is Fiedo. I'm the host, and we are talking live. Not really live, but you get the idea. What's up, NS?
I mean, we are live.
Yep.
Hello, it's me, NsGaming.
And this is gonna be something quite special. You gotta tell me about how you've been working on the whole Yakuza history video, and you did release the trailer for it, right?
Exactly. It's not really a history video. It's just that it's supposed to be a review, eventually, of Yakuza 3 and how much it sucks, but it has good moments. Specifically, the gameplay is probably the worst part of it, just because it's old. Can't really fault it too much.
That's interesting because it's like I thought like when it came to like the original two games, like I found the gameplay pretty much alright and pretty much holds up.
Yeah, honestly, I
they...
played Yakuza 1. Oh my god, hold on, I have to clear my throat.
No problem.
I played Yakuza 1 a little bit. It didn't get too far in it, like the original. And it plays pretty well, honestly. Surprisingly well. It's just that because Yakuza 3 is on an HD console, you would think the gameplay would have improved or they would have smoothed out the controls. Which they do for 4 and 5, but for 3 it's poopy butt.
Did they just like revamped everything?
They just pretty much ported the moveset from, I assume, 2 and 1. And just kind of added maybe some new moves that you get like way too late into the game because you need like a lot of levels.
Yeah, because I noticed you can block in that game, right?
You can block. It is the
strange.
Blockuza 3 is what people call it.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's like the first two games didn't really... Well, they had counters and all that, and I guess in some way like react to things, but not like blocking things.
Yeah.
So it just looks very stupid.
No more so the problem with Yakuza 3 is that enemies block all the time and you have very little options to beat blocking other than grabbing, which doesn't work on every enemy, and dodging, but the dodging is not great, so you can't really get behind enemies very often, especially if you're getting jumped. But in bosses, it's not too big a deal. Just gotta play it. It makes you have to play patiently, which isn't that fun when, especially if you go, say, the remakes for 1 and 2, or you play 0, where you actually have a lot of options to play around bosses that like block a lot, and you go to 3 and it's shit. But the game does actually get better once you actually unlock most of the moves and you actually are forced to use them, because I replayed the game on Legend, which is the hardest mode, and it's a little bit bullshit when you die from you do game over a lot, like if you fuck up one segment, and because the whole point is that there's no checkpoints because it's Legend, your checkpoint is the last time you save. It gets pretty bad at some points.
Shit. That really fucking sucks. That would at least be like a different kind of difficulty, not like actually affecting the state.
I mean, it is actually like harder, but they also have that as a rule. For one segment in particular, it's you walk through a city, do some stealth, then you have a really and not too hard, but it's like a difficult enough boss fight because you get jumped by 5 guys. And then you have to immediately do a chase segment that's already pretty hard, especially on the harder difficulty. And if you fuck up the chase segment, which is the last thing, you game over, and you have to do all that all over again, and it's long.
Were there any those car game, like how they did it with 1?
Car segments, like in a chase sequence within a car?
Yeah, and then you actually had to shoot back the bullets, because I remember in 1 it had that actual segment. It was I think
that's literally only in 0 and 1.
Yeah, it's very weird because it's like the only time of the game where it changes the gameplay, and it's also very buggy too, because I just didn't. You had to move around.
It is very not Yakuza. Here you're shooting down helicopters or other cars, it doesn't feel in character, but
it's I guess 3 doesn't have that, so I guess it's cool. It just has,
you have chase segments where you have to chase people on foot, right? And it's like an obstacle course.
Oh yeah, like the later games, okay, and
like the later games. It's annoying is what it is.
But now you can tell me about the good parts about the game.
I think the story's pretty nice, and it has soul. Like the whole thing, the environments, the characters, everything has soul. Right, it feels like they actually still cared, even though the gameplay is pretty bad. And I think the final boss, just like probably most Yakuza games, is like the highlight of the entire game. Just because that music is actually legendary. That's something. Let's be honest, there's not really much positive to say. There's a lot of mini games. They're pretty alright. I think the setting, the plot, isn't the best, but it's good. I like the new setting, taking place mostly in Okinawa instead of Kamurocho or in a city.
Think a bit different, just for its.
Yeah, it's you're in the countryside.
Holy wowzers! Holy shit!
I think the Majima stuff was really good. I That's really it. There's really not much good to say, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess not yet. No, I technically did say like enough that seems like, it's an alright game. That's all you
Yeah,
really need to
it's.
say about it.
I used to say it was like a 3 out of 10, but now I give it a honest 6. Just I would give it a passing grade, you know.
Honestly, what would you classify as 3 out of 10 games?
Sonic Frontiers. That's it.
Just that's
That's
it?
like.
Does it get any lower than that?
I mean, there's obviously lower than that, but they're not actual games. Like I could say like a shitty, like NES game, like unlicensed game or whatever,
Yeah,
or
I
like
can tell you
some
that much, that's
like
for sure.
bumfuck like Atari game. But those aren't real. Who cares?
They're not even playable, at least in today's standards.
They're playable. They're just like so primitive. They don't even they don't even count, right?
Now, I'm pretty sure the ones were even like problematic when they came out, especially the Atari stuff during like I guess moments before the crash.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different era of itself, though. But okay. And now, I guess that was just the retrospect of the 3 for like what the video you're working on. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
like, how much you have it like done so far? Is it already is it already like out?
No. Like I haven't had any progress since the trailer came out. I might work on it in the future, but I've been so burnt out of like just thinking about that game that like even putting together that trailer was honestly a little miserable because just trying to think about that game or like try to script something for that game was just like it's not fun. It's not like it's a fun game to talk about really.
It was a specific game, and you had the idea straight from there, and it's like
Yeah, I had the idea like planned years ago, and I started recording it because I had just like rethought about it for the first time in like a few years. I was like, man, this game is fucking terrible. I'm gonna replay it. It's gonna be my project for college, and I thought about it ahead of time. I started recording it, and then the time came to actually start putting it together, and I was like, man, I kind of just this is a nothing burger. Like
it's the expectation.
It's not like it's like it's not really fun to talk about. I should have done like a game I actually really like or would have the drive to keep talking about years later.
I think this is good though because at least you got the stepping stones on like how this kind of stuff works.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
you can actually like make something bigger within like a game in the future.
Yeah, because if anything, my next project would probably be Yokai Watch series type retrospective. Or just something simple like just making a video of like the Yokai Watch timeline. Just like something a bit more fun.
It does sound fun. And speaking about fun, what about Rayman stuff?
Dude, there's a new game, allegedly.
Wait, what do you mean we have a new game? Is it the Rabbids one?
No, like there's a new game in the works, supposedly. According to Ubisoft themselves.
That's the first time I'm hearing about this.
I mean, because it's in like super early, like it's in pre-production. Like they're still hiring people to work on the game. Like it's nowhere near started from what I can see.
Oh, okay. So far that's as far as we can go.
Yeah, and the Rayman board game came out recently.
Rayman board game?
Yeah, it's like an actual board game they made like based on Rayman Legends. Let me pull it up.
What the fuck? That sounds really cool. Okay, I guess that's...
Yeah, it had a Kickstarter. Yeah, it's Rayman the board game is what it's called.
I know, its own board game after...
Yeah, because it had a Kickstarter and everything like I think 2 years ago. And they got the backing and everything. If you backed it, you got a copy of the game and like special playing pieces. I was gonna do it, but I wasn't. I just forgot. I guess to actually like give something. But it's a little board game. It seems to be with cards and shit. But
yeah, thanks for letting me know about it. Did we ever discuss about when you actually started playing video games and what was the first one?
I don't think we ever discussed it. The earliest I remember playing my Wii, or if it was my Game Boy Color. I'm gonna say Game Boy Color would make the most sense. But I think my first game was Mario Bros. Deluxe on my purple Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah.
And because my mom's friend gave her, I assume one of her kids like Game Boy Colors with a bunch of games on it. Like she had a bunch of different games. One of them was Pokemon Yellow. There was a Power Rangers game on Game Boy Color. Mario Bros. Deluxe, and I think something else.
Yeah, but the Mario one really stood the most.
Yeah.
That's a classic. Holy shit.
I don't think I ever beat it as a kid. But Pokemon, yeah, I definitely didn't make any progress. I didn't understand anything about it.
Same. Like for both things. I guess for me it was like somewhat similar where let me speed this up. I was at like a little bus on the way to Chile from Peru and all that when I was like 5 or 6, and I got like a silver camera, digital camera that a vendor was selling. And then it had like a built-in emulator, and it had like NES stuff like the Super Mario Bros.
In the camera?
Yeah, I was like
What the fuck? That's
fucking
cool.
funny. Yeah, it was just what you expect out of these kind of countries where they just have like some modified stuff, and it's like, yeah, cool. And that was technically like the first time I ever played video games, I believe, on the little camera. And how does it
That's
play?
kinda
Like,
cool.
it has like it does have D-pads, but it's more like the really they're so painful to actually play with. Let's just imagine.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, the camera D-pad is not meant for gaming.
yeah, if you can just you so you already know how that's like. It's just rough, especially in like
Well, was it a circular D-pad type thing?
now, the thing is, my sister was me at the time, so we both got each other's cameras. So hers had like an actual circular. Mine's was just actual brick D-pad thing. You know, the ones where it's just like
Okay.
a cross. Oh no, a plus sign. That's better. Yeah. Well, I guess it's the same shit, but whatever. Just arrow keys would have been better, but at least you got like that layout, I guess. And yeah, I just
Yeah, so
try to
it's
work
familiar
with
at
that.
least.
And well, it was just Mario Bros and Contra and like that once it was weird because like we had like it's a similar model of the cameras, but like the emulator, like it would just like run like just a few NES games and they'd be just different. Like hers is actually her camera is the one that actually had the Super Mario Bros, while mine's is just the Mario Bros NES port, or like, you know, it's based on the arcade original game.
Oh, okay, like
Similar
actual
shit.
Mario Bros.
Yeah. And so I just remember like asking her, yo, can I just trade so I can play the better Mario game?
I mean, yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
fair.
it was just, oh man, I just never seen like a platforming kind of game like this before. And yeah, I didn't beat it, but it's like, it was just really fun because that's just what kicks around like interest in like Mario stuff and games in general.